I fed the kitties underneath the chairs this morning. We have a light rain. Yeah, it's just a really light rain. They're talking here in Raleigh that we're not going to get much rain now at all. And of course, lots of new leaves down. It's a good morning not to have to go get the paper.
Yeah, no paper this morning.
Yeah, Saturday morning, and it's just a little light rain out there. You would have been okay in that, but yeah. Tux was brought in this morning for a brush down and a little extra love. Weren't you, buddy? You ready to go out now? So we had the case of the odd loud hum. I don't know, Johnny and I are always the first to hear all sensitive sounds, but Don heard it too this time. And we were under the house in the attic. It kind of traced it to the wall of Johnny's bathroom, sort of like, I don't know, so maybe it's the guts of the toilet in Johnny's bathroom?
Well, the flush valve, you know, the tank valve that fills the tank and the float and all that, the ones in there, I installed it 6-7 years ago, so that one has been being used since like 2013, because I went through and put the flusher that lets you flush a half a flush and a full flush.
Right.
Anyway, I believe that valve is basically deteriorated to the point where maybe it's not sealing when it shuts off. It was letting just a little bit of water squeeze through, leak through, and that jet of water was making a very high-pitched vibration sound. That's my hypothesis, because the water was at the absolute top of the overflow tube. So it was right borderline that water was spilling into the overflow tube, so the valve was on just the smallest amount. So I've readjusted the float so that it, the water level stops about, not quite, probably 3/8 of an inch from the top of the overflow tube. So hopefully the valve will fully close now. But I had already mentioned to Marianne that I was thinking about replacing that toilet. I mean, that toilet is original with the house, which is 31 years of January, so it'll be 32 years old in this coming January. So you know, that's a 5-gallon super duper flusher, Roosker, you know, full flush, everything, and realistically it's wasting water. When I was just me in the house, I never used that bathroom, so it didn't really matter. But you know, Johnny's home now, especially now he's during the daytimes he's home, so yeah, it's getting more use. I mean, it was certainly getting used whenever they weren't in school, when he was at home, but now that he's basically home 24/7, 365, you know, that is where he's using it. So it's getting more activity now than it has ever gotten. So
and we replaced the one in my bathroom, our bathroom.
Yeah, that was your Christmas present 2 years ago. So, yeah, I gave you.
Yeah, so he's talking about getting Johnny a new toilet for Christmas.
Right, Christmas present. That's right. So, we saw a really neat video where you get this fiber trim along the console. And the kit at that time was, I'm thinking was like $60 or something like that. And you know, they gave you like maybe 6 to 8 feet of this fiber optic light tube stuff. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on what you call it now. And LEDs, but they do give you a nice little controller that can be controlled via Bluetooth from your phone, so you could do different colors. I didn't really want to spend $80, and plus I didn't think, I'm sorry, ever how much it was. I didn't really want to do that, and so I got this, I think it's 20 meters, 10 meters, which is 30 feet, and these LEDs, they were like $3 a piece from eBay. And so I was going to, on the bench here, try them out with my power supply and learn about them a little bit. I've already learned that there is really like a glass tube or something on the inside, and there is the plastic on the outside. I trimmed it away, and I think this is, I say it's glass, I think it's really actually plastic, and it sticks in the end, but I think if you look at the end of the LED has a nice lens on it, and that's the lens, and you move it back and forth until you get it right, and then you clamp down the screw to tighten it down, and that'll hold it in place at that point. So I was going to just play with it here on the bench a little bit and see how it worked. Obviously, if you could light it from both ends, that would be the best, because the light's going to fall. It's going to fade as it travels the length of the tubing. So.
Oh wow, that sure does light up the tube. Obviously the color over here is more the real color, and this is sort of the camera whiting it out, but you can see near Don's hand and near my hand.
But you can see moving it back and forth.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool too.
So you kind of got to get the focal length right on the... this is at 8.6 volts. It's only 30 milliamps at that point. This is a 12 volt LED, they said. So that's 60 milliamps. That's 11 volts. That's 80 milliamps. You can see it's getting brighter.
Yeah, it definitely is brighter.
And alright, there's 12 volts, and that's 90 milliamps. So this thing's dissipating obviously at 12 volts. 108 2 decimal points, 108 2 decimal points. So that's 1 watt at that point. I forget how many watt these LEDs. So at this point, this thing has an aluminum case with a few heat sinks, and it's not getting warm. So certainly at 12 volts, 1 watt, it's not. Excuse me. Bless you. It's not excessive, and I would say that's probably the max that I'm going to do. I have a boost buck power supply. What I'm probably going to do instead of that, since the Tesla runs at almost 14 volts, the 12 volts is really closer to like 14 volts, and I'm going to put a small resistor, like I'll calculate the value at 14 volts to drop 2 volts. I want to drop it from 14 volts to 12 volts, so I got a 2 volt drop at about 90 milliamps. I'll calculate the resistor value, good old Ohm's law, and I'll try to find something as close to that as necessary, and that way we won't go into thermal runaway, because as LEDs get hotter, their junction voltage decreases, and so that causes the current to increase, which causes them to get hotter, which they run away. But if you have a series resistance with them, then this increased current through the resistor causes increased voltage drop across the resistor, which reduces the voltage available to the LED, which negates the junction voltage change, so that kind of cancels out, and the LED becomes stable. Meanwhile, it's time for me to put the spots on my mushroom. I've been meaning to do it for several days, and I finally found where I put my brushes. I put them in a good safe place and had trouble finding them. I
I am going to use this nail polish because, well, I have it and it's close to the right color and it should do fine out in the weather. And this is called a daughter. I have two sizes. I have the big round sizes and then I have these little tiny dots too. And they're for doing uniform repetitive, well, dots. I've never used them, and this is not going to work great because obviously the surface is not super flat, but I'm going to try that and then maybe use the brush to fine tune. We'll see how it goes. I am not a painter. So Dawn is testing one side green, one side blue, and the green light seems to travel farther than the blue light. I think we're gonna call that done. Good enough. I'll let it dry in the garage today and then I'll stick it outside tomorrow. The daughters did help. Yeah. We've got sunshine now, and whatever little rain is up in the upper atmosphere is not really falling to the ground. I'm sure everyone else that got visited by Laura wished that they had our weather. I'm really sorry for those folks. And Don had pointed out my flowers had opened this morning, so I thought, well, I'd need to come visit them.
So I was able to easily slide the, I don't know, the little piece of
the runner,
the tab, yeah, I guess, I don't know, runner, between the chrome trim and the upholstery or the plastic or whatever. And as you can see, you can barely see it. I mean,
I can't hardly tell. If you hadn't told me you pressed it in there, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, well, anyway, it went in no problem. I was able to slide it up and get it all the way up
to the top too. Wow.
And so, so this is supposed to be 3mm, and you know that LED is designed for one of these per, but I'm gonna, since the blue one isn't very useful, I'm gonna drill the hole larger, like 9mm, so I could put like there's actually a formula, how many circles inside of a circle,
right.
So I need ideally 4. I'd like 4 things, which you could probably, so I need to figure out, well, first of all, I'm measuring the actual thing. They said it's 3mm, but I don't know if they meant 3mm on the outside or 3mm once it's stripped. I don't know. So I'm going to figure out what it is, and then I'm going to do in such a way, I believe 5 is the effective number. So you can get 1 in the middle, and then 4 around the edge. The 4 around the edge probably won't be quite as bright as the 1 in the middle. I don't know. We'll see. I've got a since the blue ones aren't very good, I've got the little cap, and I got my drill press, and you know, it's aluminum, so it'll drill real easy. And I'm going to enlarge the hole, and I'm going to stuff as many fiber optic cables into that hole as I can get. Let's say it that way. Let's not talk millimeters and stuff. We're going to cram a lot of them in there and see what happens.
Cool. So sometimes the kits, they just have it up here, and sometimes the kits put a second one down here,
right here
or here. Yeah, I guess right in there too, a second one. So whatever you think best.
Right. Well, it depends on how successful. I've only got 2 green LEDs.
Okay.
So if I have 4 LEDs, so I've got 2 caps to play with on the blue ones, all right? And
we just lost power.
that would be a power failure.
That would be a power failure.
So right now,
The recloser is trying to...
Jules is backing us up.
All right, so the power came back on before Johnny came out here to let us know the power was off, as if we would know.
No, that's right.
You were saying that I get you to do all these projects.
Right, and I don't mind, honest.
Well, you bought the stuff before I even knew about it. In this case,
my propensity, I'm a little lazy, and anyway, I'm just saying is I don't figure all this stuff out, and y'all are seeing me fumble around here. So,
right. Well, we don't have a pre-canned, polished, practiced, well-scripted. That's not what our channel is.
No, this is just, you know, we're going to wing it, and we're going to think about it a little bit and see how it turns out. I mean, watch and see.
Right.
Hey.
I told you it was going to come out. Did we have a power failure?
Yes.
Yeah, it happened out here too. But it's back.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah, you should be able to get back going. It was only out for like 40 seconds total, maybe. Something like that. We don't know why. There's really not any wind out there due to Laura. I mean, there's really not. Like, it's 5 mile per hour general day of the week breeze. So, I don't know. I suppose there could have been a gust someplace, but I'm not going to blame that on Laura. The sun's trying to come out though, and it's already very humid. Yeah, you guys probably can't hear it, but the lift station is running down by the bridge, and I suspect the folks on the Fuquay side don't have power right now, but we got ours back, so yay! Mom and baby are in the front yard. I ran to the garage to get my camera, and now I don't see the baby. I wanted a picture and a video of all the spots. See what happens when I go out. I see Mom. Where's your baby? I wanted a picture of your baby. Where's your baby? I mean, I literally ran to the garage to try to get my camera, which is the wrong camera, but still, a camera, any camera. Where's your baby? I see 3 deer now. I'm not sure that I still see the spotted baby though, the fawn. Huh.
So I've cut 4 of the fiber optic tubes, and I've stuck them in my drill bit guide. Of course, I don't really have any metric bits, so it looks like I can get 4 of them in 15/64, which is important because I have a nice brand new sharp 15/64 inch drill bit, so that we should be able to drill that hole out to 15/64, no problem. Clamp this in my drill press and give her a shot. And yeah, it turned out that these fiber optic bundles, converting everything from, you know, my micrometer is 30 seconds of an inch, and of course, so 0.239 or 0.24 millimeters is what the actual light tube is. The outside sheeting is 3 millimeters, so I guess they intended for you to leave the sheeting on to fit in that 3 millimeter hole like that. So I guess I could try that, but I'm gonna start, because I can't make the hole smaller after I drill it. I can make it a little bit bigger, so you know, keep your fingers crossed.
So I'm gonna try to do bag 1 of R2D2. I don't know that I was really ready to get into this big kit with 2,127 pieces, but I am very curious if bag 1 is all there. So I thought I'd stand here at the nice cart, which is a great height, and I'd work on R2D2 and keep Don company while he's working on the lights. I'm using Don's sorter. And I was already missing a piece, but I was able to locate it in the house right away. This is not a special piece. Now, if I was missing one of these, that might be a problem. But any of these other pieces in here, I've got all of these.
So as usual, best made plans. What I did was I did my 15/30 seconds drill bit, and then I sanded it. I made it smooth by using sandpaper wrapped around a dowel I made it as smooth as I could. But of course, when the screw came down, it messed up the 4, so I made it a little bit bigger. And I got 4 of them inside of a 6mm, I'll have to measure it, thimble. And that fits in the hole very nicely. I said it fits in the hole really nice. I said it fits in the hole really, it did fit in the hole really nice. Oh, the screw is stopping it, of course. Anyway.
Don wiggled the screw and got it in there.
Yeah, so
just
it fits in there.
Yeah.
And then the screw will tighten down on the thimble. And now that holds the 4 of them pretty snug. And so I think at this point, I'm confident enough that my LED will light up 4 cables. Of course, it's only shooting like 2, maybe 3 feet.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be good.
So now that I'm encouraged that I've got a way to hold the fiber optic cable bundles together and fasten it to the LED in a more or less semi-permanent installation, I'm going to go on now and run all 4 bundles on the
console.
On Jules, that's right, and get them, dress them up the best I can, being very careful not to kink them or damage them, and then stick this in and see what it looks like. I still got to get my resistor, but I'll probably just stick a 0.1 ohm resistor or 0.2 ohm, or 2 of them, 2.1s in series or something to get put a little bit of resistance there, so if the current goes up,
it'll be protected.
It'll help it not run away. Thermal runaway.
I've been back and forth to the house at least 8 times and brought out parts, and pretty much I figured out they built through step 8, and all the parts they built through 8, they didn't make it with the kit, and then everything else appears to be here. So I had all those parts, and other than getting a little extra exercise hunting parts, I'm good. Alright, I'm done with bag 1. The only thing I could stand to do is I've got these 2 white squares. If I could find blue squares and replace on both sides, that would be good. Ready to move on to bag 2, but I've had enough fun for one day. You know, you don't want to do too much and then start messing it up. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
So I've got my cigarette lighter adapter with the little pigtail for the LED on it. It's plugged into the fancy cigarette lighter thing that has the on-off buttons, so you can turn it on-off. That's reading 14.1 volts. This is my voltmeter. Oh, come on. And it's reading 14.14. So the little voltmeter on the splitter 12 volt adapter USB charger thing is accurate. So at this point I've got the 4 bundled up whatever fiber optics, and so now I'm gonna try to plug this in. There it goes. And it's kind of bright here. This one over here, this one's doing pretty good. Can't even see this one down here. I guess I'm gonna have to lower that down a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of finesse
Adjust it a little bit.
adjust that one. But this one over here.
Oh, good night, garage.
Yeah, that's yeah, I think I damaged this one. We can go over to the side because see right here, you see how bright that spot is?
Yep.
I damaged that one, and I knew I had did that, but I've got lots of it left over. But you can see I was so let me tell you this, these fiber optics, see this is damaged right here too.
Yeah.
The little thing, so you
gotta be gentle.
yeah, I would say I wasn't uncareful, but I certainly wasn't careful. But now that I know, and I assumed that I was damaging it. I didn't know I damaged it quite so bad. So but anyway, that's it right there. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm sort of liking it. Here, let me close.
I am liking it.
Yeah, let's close this.
Ooh, wow. Ooh.
Yeah,
ooh.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna, also the little, I had to tape
Right.
this so it doesn't fall out, so I'm gonna have to come up with
A plan.
a plan to
Hold it.
hold it just so, maybe double-sided
Maybe
tape.
the tiniest piece of tape.
Yeah, something like that. So, anyway.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
So Don trimmed off the end piece, the piece inside of the console, and was able to get that left side to light up nicely.
Better, yeah.
Yeah, at some point, you know, we've got plenty of it. We could replace it. It looks good. I'm happy with it. I think it's great. Maybe if I'm a good girl later on tonight, if the roads are... Well, Jules isn't clean. That's right. We actually didn't clean her because we wanted one Tesla this weekend we could run around with if it rained.
Right.
Then it didn't rain a lot. So maybe I'll get a nighttime drive and we can check it out even more. But I like it. I mean, I really like it. You know I like my mood lights.
Yeah, and I've got enough. I decided... I trimmed off the bad part where I had really abused this. And it's not quite as bright as this because this got one more somewhat damaged spot in it, where this one is pretty undamaged. So, but I think it's, like Marianne said, it's close enough. I mean, I'm gonna take a deep breath. I'm gonna chill with it and see how I like it. Now, underneath the armrest, so I have this just laying here like that, and that keeps it from damaging this anymore. Plus, it lets this thing be in free space so it has a little bit better air circulation. And then if I want to turn it off, I can just push the button. And so
I like it, Donnie.
So I can leave it off now. So those LEDs, these LEDs, they come, you can order them with different hole sizes. If you want to put 4 of these 3mm fiber optic cables, tubes, whatever.
Strands.
I'm forgetting what they're called. This is a 6mm ferrule. It's 6mm on the outside, and so either order the one with 6mm hole in it, or order one smaller than 6mm, and then get you a 1/4" drill bit and drill it. And it seemed to work really well. I used a 15/16 and I sanded it out a little bit. I'm at 15/64 and I sanded it out, but a 1/4 would work really well. And the 4 3mm, they fit really well inside of here, nice and snug. I mean, now, if you pull on them, they will come out, but I mean, they're not going to vibrate out driving down the road. You'll have to pull it to get them out. And I would just say, you know, that's worked out well. Just using that ferrule.
Okay, and you were talking about power in the car when the battery cut out on the camera again.
Yeah.
You're articulating 12 volt.
A couple of weeks ago, or back a while ago, I talked about this articulating 12 volt, dual 12 volt plus USB Type C and Type A adapter. It was like 15 bucks. But the beauty of it is it bends down, and the little tray in the Model Y fits and doesn't get bumped into because it bends down. Because where the 12 volt outlet is, if it sticks out very far, it bumps into the tray and it causes problem. But with that articulating, it goes down. But it also has that articulating thing has a little on-off button for each of the 12 volt ports. So instead of plugging and unplugging the little cigarette adapter that I added to the LED, I just can push the button and it'll click and turn off the LED, the 12 volt port on that articulating adapter. So I think that thing is very handy.
So, should folks order the stuff that you ordered and do it themselves, or should they buy the kit? Guess it depends on how much do it themselves they want to do.
That's right. If you want multiple, if you want to use RGB, then I would say order the kit. In other words, if you want to be able to dial the color, because they do make RGB of these, and you can buy RGB controllers. But by the time you go through all that hassle, and I think I saw one of the kits is $40 now.
I think it's $49.99.
Okay,
I'll put the link to the kit, and then I guess give me a parts list for the couple things you ordered off eBay that somebody would need, and then folks can decide for themselves.
You decide. Well, what I plan to do, well, I've got other plans for these other things in the second LED. So yeah, I mean, I've got.
Well, you offered to do it in ruby, except for I have the blanket over my console. But if there was a place I wanted lights in ruby, you offered to put some in there for me. And
well, what I think I'm going to do is order a 6mm red LED, and that way it'll be red inside. And I told Marianne I still may actually already have a 3mm red LED around here somewhere, because
Don thought he ordered red to offer me for ruby, and then we ended up kind of having white with red as Jules's color theme. You know, green was the old interior colors on the Scion, which we really liked, but we didn't. But we, you know, Jules just ended up, those floor mats are red, and we kind of were going, and it matches sort of ruby, a little red and white, kind of brings the color across the two cars. And
well, that's the advantage obviously of buying the RGB, is you using the little Bluetooth phone app, you can dial your color, any color you want. The brightness varies.
Right, our one friend that had installed the kit in his car, Mike Kaufman, EV Network is his channel. It's where we got the idea. His car is kit. It's like the Knight Rider, and all his accents are green. So he pretty much doesn't ever plan to want to change his color, because his Tesla T and all that stuff, it looks great. It's, you know, he's gone green with his theme. So like you said, some people, like me, I probably want the rainbow. Let me pick my color. I'm a girl. I got different moods for different days of the week, you know. But Don, he just green or red, and he's good, you know. But you know, so it sort of does depend on if you've gone pink, then you need you know, all your accents. Quite a few of the divas have done pink with their Tesla T and their wheel covers and stuff. Then they probably want a pinkish purple color, and they're good. But yeah, I mean, different days, different moods. I might want to change my color up.
That's right. That's fine, sweet. So yes, I think the color shifting would be desirable, but I would warn you to be careful and don't manhandle those. Fiber optic bundles. They are fragile. I guess that really is glass or something.
So, do you remember how much it cost you for the fiber optic part?
I think it was less than $20 for 10 meters.
Right, and for a lot of it. So, like, you could mess up with the learning curve, and you've got plenty left over to use. Whereas the kit you order, it comes with 4 strips for the console.
That's right.
And I don't believe there's any spare. Well, it wasn't said that there was any spare, and so if that's your, you know, it's sort of a plug and play, but there's like not a lot of room for error there. Whereas your method, you had.
Well, it's four strips and 4 LEDs. That's
true too.
So I chose to use 1 LED and put all 4 bundles in there, and I'm sure one fiber optic cable per LED that you could focus just precisely is probably the right way to go, and ideal. So that's, like I said, that I don't think I saved too much.
Well, the kits come down $30.
I thought it was $79.
Right, the kit has come down in cost since Don first saw it, and he decided to go this other route. And you know, Don does like to do electronics and stuff himself, more so maybe than others. But anyway, well, there's enough info here. You could go either route.
Right.
And if you order some stuff and have questions, Don, just leave us a comment, and Don will answer your question.
Well, the thing about doing it is that I'm going to probably put around the door frame.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, I've got extra, and I have extra LEDs. If I order LEDs, I'll probably order 4 LEDs, and that way I can do the doors and
Well, anyway.
Well, I like green, or I like the light on your feet. Like, you know, Ruby has ambient light for the footwell,
right.
but if that's colorized to match the other color, all the better, in my opinion.
Right. And that is something I'm going to investigate. I bought acetate. I forget the colors I have, but I have acetate film, and I do plan to pop the
Puddle lights?
well, the puddle lights, the ambient light in Jules has ambient light. I'm going to track those down, and I was going to put the acetate film on them. And I think I've got green and blue and red and stuff like that. So, you know, that would be a very inexpensive way to get a little tint to the lights that are in your car. And it's I think it was $1 for the sheets, and you know, and that included postage. So you know, it's my kind of price.
Don's taking me out to play pogo since I didn't get out this afternoon, and let's go check out those green lights. I see my camera lens is all humiditied up. Oops. Ooh.
Hey.
Hey. Well, I'm liking it. It's not, it's a nice frosted green color. It's not a bright in your face. That's too bright for me color. I'm pleased with it. I'm just saying it blends into the nighttime interior of the car. It doesn't stand out or catch your eye too much, or it's enjoyable without being obtrusive is what I'm trying to say. So I'm really liking it. Super duper liking it. You did way good, Donnie.
Thank you, pretty girl. So it has this neat trash can. It's a little pop-up trash can. It has Velcro on the bottom.
Yeah, it came that way.
Came that way. So it won't stick to our floor mats, nor will it stick. It will stick to some carpet, but not to our carpet.
Right. It wouldn't stick to Ruby's carpet either.
Right. So I put the little Velcro on a piece of plastic. This is a piece of plastic, and this is a tablecloth, picnic tablecloth clamp. And I riveted it to the plastic. So now this will go here like so. So now what I can do, which I'm going to show you, is I'm going to slip this underneath the floor mat. And it'll hold the floor mat. So I'm just going to pull up the floor mat. I'm going to hook this on it like so. Get it centered. And I'm going to take my trash can and stick on the Velcro. And now the trash can will stay there.
Yeah, there are no cars without trash cans with me and Johnny and our tissues.
Yeah, and see it. I know where it is now. I can reach down behind it and drop it in there. I had no trouble with this trash can like this in the Scion.
Yeah, and Ruby has one attached to that carpet that we have in the middle row back there too. So we're all used to sort of reaching to that location for our tissue.